Good morning. We've got a great crowd here today. We're trying to get some additional seating set up for everybody. Those of you that are in the bleachers, if you have a couple of seats next to you or whatever, please, I would ask you to get comfortable and friendly with each other and scoot in. And if there are some seats and things up there in the bleachers or whatever, just point those things out so other folks might have a chance to have a seat for the ceremony. All right. Well, good morning again. My name is Chuck Bain, and I have the honor of serving as the director of the Law Enforcement Academy and to serve as your MC for today's ceremony. In addition to everybody here on site, we are live streaming our ceremony today, so we extend a welcome to families, friends, colleagues, and administrators who are viewing from afar this morning. Today we celebrate the graduation of Peace Officer Basic Class 23C-164. That number that you see on your program does have some meaning. 23 is obviously the year. C indicates it's the third Peace Officer Basic of 2023, and 164 denotes that this is the 164th graduating Peace Officer Basic class from the Academy. Our ceremony is steeped in history and tradition. Veteran officers who began their careers in Wyoming and who have graduated from our Academy have shared the same sense of accomplishment and perhaps even a little bit of relief by today's graduates. Peace Officer Basic Training graduation marks a time of transition for these officers as they begin their law enforcement careers. This transition takes them from being an individual contributor to a public servant who now must focus on others and not themselves. This transition is not easy, and not everyone is successful. These students have every right to be proud of their hard work and accomplishments during these past 14 weeks. Today, when we award their certificate, they, for the first time here at the Academy, we will address them as officer, warden, or deputy as another example of this transition taking place. But this ceremony is not just about them. It's also an expression of thanks to their families and administrators who have supported them during their absence. We welcome audience participation in today's ceremonies with any yells and cheers as we celebrate the success of these students. It is more than appropriate to share the overwhelming pride, honor, and joy that will be felt within this room today. Remember, today is likely the only time in these officers' careers where they will encounter such a large gathering of people that are actually happy to see them. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and welcome Peace Officer Basic Class 23C-164. Class, please come forward. Audience, I would ask you to please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation. This class has selected their classmates who are military veterans to lead us in the pledge. Veterans? We are pleased to have Tim Ricker, a member and past president of the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, with us to deliver today's invocation. Chaplain Ricker.
Please bow in prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this opportunity to come to you on behalf of these graduates. I pray that they are aware of your blessings on them and their families each day they live. I pray for them as they go back to their homes and communities. I pray for safety for them and their loved ones. I ask that you reward them richly for their service and commitment to their fellow man. I pray that you go alongside them each day and use them to be a blessing to others. May you bless them with long, effectual, and fulfilled lives. I thank thee for those who labor at this academy and pray you bless and reward them for their commitment to a very high calling. I pray also for these United States of America and for those in positions of leadership. I pray that your presence might be known in their lives, that they would seek your wisdom and guidance. I pray that we as Americans would seek your guidance and pray for protection from those who would seek to do us harm. Pray all of this in the precious name of my Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please allow me a moment to introduce a few of the people that are present with us here today. To my right, immediately I'll introduce this person here in just a minute. Next to him, you've met Chaplain Ricker. Next to him is the Executive Director of the Peace Officer and Standards Training Commission of the State of Wyoming, Chris Walsh. Next to him is Deputy Director of the Academy, Jesse Curtis, and finally pulling up the closure is Kurt Taboga, who is our training manager. No organization would be successful without support from behind the scenes, and our academy is no exception to that rule. Staff members are what makes this training possible and highly effective. As I speak, 3 of our most vital service sections remain at work elsewhere in our facility. And it is their collective efforts that contribute and ensure the quality of today's ceremony. The sections that I speak of are our food service, custodial, and our maintenance staff. They can't join us this morning because they have duties elsewhere, but would you join me in a round of applause recognizing their work? Our office section is known for its dedication and efficiency. Without them, we could not accomplish our mission. But I ask the members of the office team that are with us today to please stand and be recognized. The last section that is here and I'd like to recognize is part of our instructional staff. Whatever you may have heard about this group, their pride, their enthusiasm for their jobs, and their dedication to the students that they train is second to none. They not only instruct a wide variety of subjects, but they serve as team leaders, coaches, coordinators, and some even as security for today's event. Instructional staff present today, please stand and be recognized. At this point in the ceremony, I would like to ask the county sheriffs, chiefs of police, and agency administrators who are attending the ceremony today to please stand and be recognized. Thank you, administrators, for the support of these students and your continued support of our academy. I know that it's a big deal for you to drop everything and to travel here to attend the graduations for your officers. Finally, we'd like to give recognition to department's command staff, middle managers, first-line supervisors, and law enforcement co-workers in our audience today. Would everyone representing a law enforcement agency please stand? Thank you. Now I'd like to take a few moments and tell you a little bit about the training course that these graduates have just completed. Peace Officer Basic course is 605 hours. That puts us 26th in the nation in terms of curriculum hours. The course is centered on 5 major competencies: criminal law, interpersonal actions, professional skills, enforcement skills, and investigative skills. Within these competencies are 19 performance standards that include things such as conflict management, critical thinking, problem solving, professional responsibility, ethics, controlling people and circumstances, vehicle operation, and evidence gathering, just to name a few. There are 152 individual topics within this course and a total of 814 training objectives. These students spent 52% of their curriculum time in practical application of these objectives and an additional 55 hours integrating their knowledge and skills in scenarios that were evaluated. Along with their time on campus and in these practicals, these students were required to learn independently, read case law, study written material, determine and seek out resources to complete various assignments. As I tell classes on the first day, this is a hard job, so expect training for this job to be hard as well. If this job was easy, everybody'd be doing it. Please join me in recognizing this class for accomplishing these course requirements. It is now my honor to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today's ceremony. In February of 2021, our speaker was appointed as Chief of Police to the Cheyenne Police Department. Prior to that appointment, he served for 30 years with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. He served as Deputy Chief of the Investigations Bureau with 349 employees in 4 separate divisions. Prior to that, he served as Deputy Chief of the Executive Services Bureau, responsible for an annual budget of $256 million and over 1,900 employees. His tenure with Kansas City also includes 4 years as Major, 15 years as Captain, 10 years as Sergeant. He also served as a First Lieutenant in the U.S. Army Reserves. He earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration from Central Missouri State University and holds additional training from the Senior Management Institute for Police and the Police Executive Leadership Institute. In addition to his role as chief, he serves on the executive board of the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, the Wyoming Law Enforcement Academy Advisory Board, and was appointed to serve as the law enforcement representative on the Wyoming Gaming Commission by Governor Gordon. It is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Cheyenne Police Chief Mark Francisco.
Mouth got dry all of a sudden. So as the director said, feel free to clap and cheer and whatnot, but if you could hold the booze to a minimum for the next few minutes, that would be great. In that history that Director Bain read to you, one of my very favorite assignments was as serving as the director of our police academy in Kansas City. I did that for almost 4 years, and I can't tell you what a joy it is to watch these folks come through and grow throughout the assignment. Ours was about 1,000 hours there, so we had them for quite a long time. And it was interesting to see the class develop a personality. They kind of meshed together and had a personality. And at the end of it, the staff and I oftentimes would be sorry to see them go. We had a great time with them, and while we wish them the best on their journey, oftentimes we're like, man, we're going to miss this bunch. Other classes, sometimes not so much. Director Bain assures me that this class falls under the category of we're going to be sorry to see them go. But I can tell you, we as administrators will be happy to have our people back. So I'll get into the real part of this. Good morning, guests, family members of the graduates, members of the law enforcement community, and especially the graduates. I'm truly honored to stand before you as your speaker for this monumental day in your life and career. Today's graduation culminates 3 months of rigorous specialized training, that has prepared you to go back to your respective departments and practice what you've learned. I'm sure your academy experience has been extremely challenging. You've had to keep your uniforms clean, study for exams, hone your firearm skills, excel at driver's training, all while trying to keep your personal life intact while away from home for 3 months. I would like to congratulate you all for making it to graduation and to personally thank all of your family members here today for the sacrifice they have made to help you in your success. In a short time, you will, as many before you have, take the oath swearing to preserve and protect our constitutional rights and what they stand for. When you take this oath, you will join a long line of heroes who also have chosen a career in public service in one of the most honorable and noble professions. This morning, while preparing my uniform, I looked at my badge as I pinned it on my shirt, and I'm proud of the fact that I've worn one for over 34 years. To many, it's simply a piece of metal, but to me, it means much more than that. It not only represents the hard work that I've put in during my career, but also the trust placed in me when I took the oath as a police officer. I hope that each one of you, when you look at your own badge, remembers not only how hard you have worked these last 3 months, but also the power, duty, and trust that come with wearing it. In your career, I urge you to temper the power of your badge with humility, patience, and respect, because those qualities will enable you to better serve and protect your communities. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Warren Burger said, "It is often overlooked that no public official in the entire range of modern government is given wider discretion on matters dealing with the daily lives of citizens as is the police officer." With the badge, you are entrusted with protecting our freedom, our people's quality of life, things that are the essence of America. That is why you are given the authority, power, and responsibility to take someone's freedom away if necessary. You should not take this responsibility lightly. In interactions you have, remember that each person is someone's son, mother, aunt, or brother. You should strive to uphold the trust bestowed upon you by society, and keep in mind that each person whom you come across is just that, a person. Treat each person so as not to tarnish the badge upon your chest. When I was a rookie, I remember a veteran officer telling me that I always should treat people as I would want my wife, mother, or children treated. What he meant by that is that everyone should be treated fairly and respectfully. Remember, this is because although you may not know the people you're dealing with, they are family, friends, and neighbors of the community you serve. While here at the Academy, your instructors have made sure that you're well-versed in defensive tactics and the use of force. I still remember what one of my first training officers told me many, many years ago. Go in like a lamb because you can always come out like a lion. There will be times in your career when you have to use force to protect yourself, your fellow officers, or members of the community. But much more often, you can get the job done by listening, talking, and showing compassion. Even though these responsibilities may seem like a heavy burden, as they should, remember that this is a job. I know that when I put my uniform on and head off to work, this is what I do, not who I am. The job does not define who I am as a husband, father, friend, and person. Do not neglect the interests, friends, or family, because those are the things that truly define you. They will keep you grounded, keep your life in perspective, and continually remind you of why you entered the profession. You can never serve others if not supported and loved by your family and friends. You want to be an outstanding cop? Be an outstanding father, mother, son, daughter, husband, wife, or friend. Conduct yourself with honor, remembering that your personal credibility and reputation are the most important assets you possess. Let each action be driven by the desire not only to uphold but strengthen your reputation. If you lose your credibility, if people cannot trust you, or if you give someone a reason to doubt you, what do you have at the end of the day? You're given the opportunity to create your reputation with every call you go on, every report you write, every person you come across. Don't waste these opportunities. I know I can speak for each one of your departments and your families. We are proud of your accomplishments today. As you go forward into the profession, continue to make us proud by carrying yourself with honor, dignity, and respect. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I wish all of you in the graduating class the very best in your new profession. Congratulations.
Chief, thank you for accepting our invitation to speak today and your wonderful remarks. Those were echoed even earlier in debrief by some of your instructors as well. As usual, there are individuals within a class who go above and beyond. Now we want to give recognition to those officers who have achieved distinction within this basic course. Instructor Robert Lang, would you please come forward to present the Physical Fitness Award?
Thank you, Director. During the basic training, the students participate in over 40 hours of physical fitness training. This includes aerobic, anaerobic, core, and strength training, nutrition, and the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. The students are tested physically from the moment they arrive, day one, starting at 0700 until their final physical assessment, which was just last week. Each assessment includes their maximum number of push-ups and sit-ups in 1 minute, as well as their time for a 1.5-mile run. The top PT award goes to the student who has the highest cumulative percentage score during the final PT assessment based on age and gender. The Physical Fitness Award winner completed the following: 53 sit-ups in 60 seconds, 60 push-ups in 60 seconds, and a 1.5-mile run in 10 minutes and 6 seconds. The Physical Fitness Award for Peace Officer Basic 23C 164 goes to Deputy Edward Von Hohn from the Albany County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Rippey, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excel in firearms?
Thank you, Mr. Lang. To prepare for final proficiency scores, Peace Officer Basic students shoot approximately 1,500 handgun rounds at distances of 3 to 50 yards, as well as 600 rifle rounds out to 100 yards. In order for a student to achieve certification, they must shoot a minimum proficiency score of 80% with their handgun and patrol rifle. The WLEA Top Gun Award is given in recognition of an individual's outstanding performance and dedication to firearms excellence. The top shooter in this class shot 100% with their handgun and 100% with their rifle. The WLEA Top Gun Award for Peace Officer Basic 23C 164 goes to Warden Zachary Bernhardt from the Wyoming Game and Fish. Mr. Millick, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excelled in academics?
Thank you, Mr. Rippey. The students are tested continuously as they progress their basic training. They must meet established minimum requirements in order to receive their certificate of successful completion. Specifically, they must pass 10 examinations totaling 1,036 points. The top academic award goes to that student who achieved the highest academic cumulative average throughout the Peace Officer Basic. Top academic student in this class had an average of 94.88% over the course of basic training. Out of 1,036 total points, this officer earned 983. The academic award for Peace Officer Basic 23C 164 goes to Officer Peyton Bear from the Laramie Police Department. Each class elects a spokesperson to represent their class at graduation to share their collective thoughts and experiences from the training. Classes may also choose to complete a class project. At this time, I'd like to invite up class speaker Tim Painter from Cheyenne Police Department and class project coordinator Anna Madrid from Gillette Police Department.
Thank you. Each class has the opportunity to do a class project intended to leave the Academy a better place than we found it, enhance the training, or give to a good cause. Early in our training, we were fortunate to participate in a law enforcement torch run where we ran through Douglas promoting Special Olympics of Wyoming. We were blessed to meet and run with several local athletes throughout downtown and then eat dinner with them and hear how the law enforcement torch run has impacted them personally. Our class was moved by the time we spent with these world-class athletes and decided to do two things. One, each of our class members donated to help support Special Olympics of Wyoming through the law enforcement torch run. And two, we designed and built a donation box to be permanently placed in a prominent location within the WLEA so future students, staff, and guests can make ongoing donations to organizations of their choosing. WLEA staff will forward the donations to those organizations as needed. This time, I would like to invite Director of the Law Enforcement Torch Run, Kathy Bazire, along with Molly, Allie, Tyler, and Dalton, forward to receive our donation.
Hello, everybody. So as my chief said, sometimes you can get the job done with the talking, and my class knows that I love talking, so that's why I'm up here. But see my kids, Oliver, my daughter Maisie, my amazing wife Emily, friends and family, even some of my former high school kids came, so hey guys. Good morning, friends, family, and fellow POB classmates. At last, 12 long weeks of training has finally concluded, and we never have to hear Hunter shout, POB, at morning flags ever again. Thank the Lord. After several hot days on the range, nearly driving our cars into the river on the EVO pad, rolling around in custody and control, trying to keep our lunch down. They scheduled it after lunch. That's one of my complaints on the course eval. And learning case law on the internet, we can finally celebrate the end of Academy together. The past few months, I have seen the individuals in this class grow tremendously as we have experienced the several ups and downs of training. Graduation day has finally come. We will leave here today lifelong friends ready to begin our careers as law enforcement officers for the great state of Wyoming. A large part of the growth we experienced as a class the past few months can be attributed to the fine instructors you see here. From them, we have learned several valuable lessons, and I truly believe we will carry them with us to our agencies and profession. I would like to share a few of these lessons with our audience. The first lesson is always sharpen your sword. Once custody and control ended, we would see Mr. Wong wandering the halls swinging a stick like a mad hermit with no purpose. To all of us, he seemed in deep despair that custody and control was over. Later to find out, he couldn't be more pleased to not have to watch Ryan, Tyler, and I roll around like morons for 2 more weeks. What Mr. Wong was actually doing, and what he continues to do, is constantly sharpen his sword. By this, I mean he is always improving his fighting fitness and mobility skills to be the best that he can be. In the gym, my classmates and fellow Cheyenne officers, Xavier and Sal, would be squatting around 700 pounds. Wong would simply reply, "That seems heavy," while he balanced barefoot on a squat rack. He was working on mobility, I guess. Mr. Wong's goal is to continue to build his body and mind so that he can do the job he loves as long as possible. This should be the goal of all of us. We must seek to maintain physical, mental, and spiritual health and never cease to learn and grow. POB, never stop sharpening your sword. Be 10% better every day. Our next lesson, don't do dumb stuff. This phrase was censored for Mr. Wong's young ears. Comes from Mr. Millick, who may not believe in backup cameras, television, indoor plumbing, the internet, cell phones, red dots, or pistol sights, or the news, but he does wholeheartedly believe in educating the future generation of Wyoming law enforcement. The phrase, while simple, can really be the answer to many situations we find ourselves in law enforcement. I believe the phrase, don't do dumb stuff, means at its core to trust that we know the right thing to do. We may not always know the exact way something needs to be done, but after getting to know this incredibly talented group of men and women to my left the past 3 months, I can honestly say we probably know what dumb looks like, and we're going to hopefully avoid it. Like leaving your car in drive when you get out for a traffic stop. Not going to do that again. I remember distinctly hitting several cones on our vehicles course on an obstacle. I just couldn't figure it out. I walked over to Mr. Millick in his lawn chair of judgment and asked him how to navigate the obstacle. His response was, do it right. Thanks, Mr. Millick. I took that as, painter, you're overthinking it, just make it happen. The next run, I made it happen. Shane, however, my classmate, still murdered 12 cones after me, but that's okay because he works in county and there's not a lot of populated roads, so. At the end of it all, POB, sometimes we just need to execute the task and get out of our own way. In other words, don't do dumb stuff. Our next lesson comes from Mr. Lang. The lesson is being able to articulate the choices you make in life and as an officer. This is perhaps more important than the choices themselves. Lang is the softest spoken of all the instructors, yet he has some of the most important things to say, when he remembers it, that is. Many of us had Mr. Lang for our virtual and acted scenarios. These put our culmination of training to the test. We had to make split-second decisions and then justify why we did what we did under stress. Lang had an amazing way of making us second-guess every choice we made. At first, we thought it was because we were terrible. Mr. Lang confirmed, at first, we were really terrible. But as we adapted and grew, we realized he would always make us analyze our choices and truly think through our actions. In doing this, we all become more confident in our decisions and our ability to stand by them. Mr. Miller. Before thanking Mr. Miller, I would like to first thank the WLEA for making Mr. Miller grow a beard. By now, many of us have seen Mr. Miller's old Tacoma PD recruitment video and can safely say that clean-shaven Mr. Miller is scary. Check it out, it's on YouTube. Mr. Miller taught us a few great lessons. The first is that the highest ranking officer at the WLEA is general safety. If Mr. Miller's safety flag comes out, you done messed up and possibly shot a truck bed. The second lesson is that absolute integrity is the most important quality that an officer can possess. Without integrity, nothing else matters. Lastly, Miller's favorite saying was, do the thing. Sometimes it's as simple as that. You can have all the training in the world, but often it just comes down to trusting your gut and making it happen. Mr. Miller, thank you for serving as my team lead and a mentor to myself and so many of us. I've personally learned a great deal from you. In addition to the three gentlemen I've just spoken about, we've learned so many snippets of knowledge from other amazing people here. Mr. Steele showed the class that the staccato is in fact the Lord's gun. It is. Matt Peckerman taught us that the John Wick flip is the coolest and 100% effective way to reload a pistol. Thank you, Matt. Ryan Tyler taught us how to give terrible dorm haircuts and shared his deep love with his pig Linda to all of us. Thank you, Ryan. The list of memories could go on for a while. We also had many other guest instructors who made an impact on us. There was Chip from Active Shooter who said, "You do not have my permission to die on duty." There was also Wyoming Highway Patrol Captain Jay Pitsley, who made us promise that he would do everything in his power to keep our friends and family safe, so long as we do the same for him. Thank you to these instructors and students who will continue to have an impact on us for years to come. In closing, thank you so much to all of those who have made a difference in our lives the last few weeks, the many lessons you've taught us. Thank you to our friends, families, and spouses in the audience. Without your love, support, and sacrifice, we would not be able to stand here today fulfilling our dreams. Thank you so much for your support these last 12 weeks and your continued support going forward. Thank you to the WLEA food service, maintenance, and custodial staff. Your hard work behind the scenes is noticed and appreciated by everyone. Custodial staff, I'm sorry for Hunter eating so many crayons in the lecture hall. He is a Marine after all. Lastly, thank you to my fellow classmates of POB 23C164. You fine ladies and gentlemen have made this experience one I will never forget. I will not forget the cool bike tricks, the trips to Buffalo Wild Wings, Louise saying, "Brother man," Gary from Shoots, and karaoke night. I look forward to keeping in touch and seeing the amazing things y'all do for your communities. The time has come for us to return to our agencies and build upon the foundation we learned here. I wish you all the best of luck. May we all have long and exciting careers. Thank you for the honor of being your class speaker. As Mr. Wong says, don't go away mad, just go away. Thank you.
Thank you, class, for your donation and your support of Special Olympics. Officer Painter, thank you for your words here today. And now to our final award. In every class, there are those students who are willing to distinguish themselves by their exemplary work and efforts. They strive to become the best of the best within this class and their chosen profession. As a form of recognition to the one student who continually performed to their best of their abilities, the Academy has established the Honor Graduate Award. Mr. Taboga and Mr. Smith, would you please come forward to give recognition to those students who have been nominated for this award?
Thank you, Director Bain. The Honor Graduate Award is the highest honor the Academy presents to a student graduating from the Wyoming Law Enforcement Basic Course. In order to be eligible to receive this award, a student must be nominated by a member of the instructional staff. It is not a popularity contest, and it is an honor just to be nominated. Once the officer has been nominated, a very comprehensive and abject point system is used to assess the nominee's performance while attending the basic. The specific areas evaluated are the student's academic scores, proficiency in firearms, custody control, and physical fitness. In addition, the students are assessed in the following 6 areas of professional citizenship. Those are leadership, effort, cooperation, initiative, attitude, and improvement. In alphabetical order, will the following officers please come forward and receive your merit award in recognition of your nomination. From Cheyenne Police Department, Officer Kelly Allen. From Sublette County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sean Butner. And lastly, from Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Colton Harkness. The Honor Grad Award recognizes the one student in each basic course who exemplifies all the attributes of a professional peace officer, and who performs exceptionally in all phases of training. In addition to receiving a plaque and with the intent to encourage the recipient beyond today's recognition, the honor graduate will receive a $500 scholarship for any advanced training offered here at the WLEA. It is a long-standing tradition that the audience stand while the Honor Grad Award is presented. So would you please stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, the Honor Grad Award for Peace Officer Basic 23C 164 goes to Deputy Sean Butler from the Sublette County Sheriff's Office. Please be seated. At this time, we will award the graduation certificates. Mr. Curtis?
All of the staff here at WLAA congratulate you, Peace Officer Basic 23C 164, for completing your basic training. We started this journey just a few months ago, and today we've arrived. On behalf of the class and Academy staff, we would like to thank the many Wyoming law enforcement agencies and associations across the state who partner with us to provide the best training possible so that these new officers have what they need to do their jobs competently, reasonably, and safely. The Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, the Wyoming Peace Officers Association, the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, and the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission are a few of the many who regularly devote expertise, financial assistance, and manpower to assist us in accomplishing our mission. We thank you. The Academy would also like to recognize the families of these men and women who themselves willingly sacrifice in many unseen ways so that their loved ones can protect their community. These officers cannot do what they do without you. We know you've taken care of things at home these last several weeks so your loved one could be here and study their craft. The Academy thanks you for your sacrifice, and we appreciate you. Peace Officer Basic 23C 164, you have spent the last several months constantly engaged in activities that forced you to learn, apply, and adapt the basic information, principle, and tactics of a law enforcement professional in order to achieve functional outcomes. At the same time, we've immersed you in a culture that demands initiative, resolve, accountability, creativity, and integrity, which is the same environment you're now returning to. You are here today because you have demonstrated a basic level of functionality in the 5 core competencies we measure, which in and of itself is an achievement to be celebrated. Our challenge to you now is to continue learning, continue practicing, and continue striving to become a masterful police officer, because this is the expectation of both your agency and your community. Director Bain, I recommend the awarding of certificates of successful completion for the Wyoming Post approved 605-hour Peace Officer Basic Course 23C 164. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready here, feel free to come down, take pictures, do whatever you need to do. We have another 5 hours and 45 minutes before we have to leave. So. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Christina A. Adams. From the Cheyenne Police Department, Officer Kelly E. Allen. From the Laramie Police Department, Officer Payton G. Bear. From Wyoming Game and Fish, Warden Zachary T. Bernhardt. From the Sublette County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sean C. Butner. From the Platte County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bradley W. Chapman. From the Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hunter S. Dotson. We're fortunate to have several special presenters with us today. These people are the family members of a graduate who themselves are currently serving or have served in law enforcement. Our first special presenter has served with the Scottsbluff, Nebraska Police Department for 37 years. Here to help present his daughter's certificate, who will be a third-generation officer, please help me welcome Sergeant Philip Eckerberg. And from the Rawlins Police Department, Officer Brianna C. Eckerberg. From the Sheridan Police Department, Officer Armand Enslin. From the Cheyenne Police Department, Officer Salofi Nawa. From the Casper Police Department, Officer Erica Z. Govea. From the Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Colton J. Harkness. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Shane A. Henry. From the Jackson Police Department, Officer Jackson W. Walker. From the Mills Police Department, Officer Luis F. Latorre. From the Cheyenne Police Department, Officer McKinney L. Larson. From the Rock Springs Police Department, Officer Ryan D. Levine. From the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Anna K. Lindig. From the Cheyenne Police Department, Officer Timothy R. Painter. Our next special presenter served with the Parsippany, New Jersey Police Department for 28 years. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome retired Chief Michael Peckerman. And from the Laramie Police Department, Officer Matthew J. Peckerman. From the Gillette Police Department, Officer Stephanie Quinones. Our next special presenter has served with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice as a corrections officer for 26 years. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome Officer Aurelio Rodriguez. And from the Cheyenne Police Department, Officer Joseph X. Rodriguez. Our Our final special presenter has served with the Wheatland Police Department for 6 years. Here to present his brother's certificate, please help me welcome Sergeant Dalton Minsas. And from the Platte County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Mason C. Stillwell. From the Cokeville Police Department, Officer Davis H. Stocking. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Ryan M. Tyler. From the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Alexandra J. Utter. From the Gillette Police Department, Officer Anna Madrid Volkamp. From the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Edward J. Von Hohn. And from Wyoming Game and Fish, Warden Connor Worthen.
These past 14 weeks have required a considerable investment in time, energy, and money to prepare you, class, to serve your communities as law enforcement officers. We have saturated you with knowledge, law, terms, and tactics, tested you each week, sprayed you, tossed you, ran you, and even made some of you drive beyond your comfort levels, and sometimes ours. We placed you in multiple scenarios that required you to demonstrate your ability to search buildings, make traffic stops, respond to domestic violence calls. You encountered non-compliant and deadly suspects, investigated crimes, handled people in crisis. All the while, we required you to maintain your composure and professional demeanor. Despite all of this exposure, the real work and training begins now when you walk out those academy doors. The public you serve will be far more critical of your job performance than any of our instructors ever were. The Academy works in partnership with agencies, so your next phase is likely training with your field training officers who will build upon your knowledge and skills to apply them in real-life situations. As you encounter those situations, it is important to always act with honor and integrity. Remember that law enforcement is always under the watchful eye of the public. When one officer chooses a path of adverse actions or behaviors, that choice often affects all of us. That poor choice may very well tarnish the badge that many have worked so hard to uphold. So, as a public affirmation of your commitment to uphold the high standards required of our law enforcement profession, I'm going to ask you, in front of your family, colleagues, administrators, and guests, to submit to the law enforcement oath of honor. I also invite all the sworn law enforcement officers present here today to voluntarily to participate together. You as Wyoming veteran officers, along with our state's newest officers, to profess our commitment to perform jobs ethically, honorably, and with integrity. all the veteran officers that are in the audience today that wish to reaffirm your oath, I would ask you to please stand. Class, please stand. Those professing your oath, I would ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, nor the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our own actions. I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to announce to you the graduates of Peace Officer Basic 23C 164. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our formal ceremony. We invite you to join us for refreshments in the dining hall. Thank you for coming. Please have a safe trip home. Thank you.